guys, welcome back to another Money Matters. So today I wanted to talk about 5 budgeting tips that are going to be helpful for you if you're just starting out on your debt-free journey. Now the first tip is creating a realistic budget. Now I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, how difficult is that? It's a budget. Write down some numbers and stick to it. Well, it is really difficult. Think about it. If you're out there just spending money, swiping your card, not caring about, oh, the bill's going to come at the end of the month, those things aren't coming into your head when you're starting to write out a budget. So be realistic. If you like to go out, if you like to shop, if you like to do certain things like get your nails done, get your hair cut, things like that, just make sure that you're being realistic and including those. Don't all of a sudden go from, spending all this money to restricting yourself to, oh, I'm only going to give myself $5 to spend when you know that's not going to be realistic. The point of a plan is to make sure that you're able to stick to it. You don't want to create a plan where you're going to be spending a certain amount of money and then you end up going over because it wasn't a realistic number. So make sure that the numbers that you're going to put down on that budget are going to be realistic and something that you can stick to. At the end of the day, a budget can always be modified. So if 1 month, you know you're going to have a lot of expenses, there's birthdays or things that you want to do, budget it. It's as easy as that. You don't have to live your life not doing anything fun. You can always budget it into your plans for that month. And if 1 month you say, hey, I don't have a lot going on, I want to tighten my budget so that way I can either, save more money or push that extra money to your debt snowball to help pay off those debts, you can do that too. A budget is so adjustable and modifiable. It's just you need to make sure that you're finding something that's going to work for you and that you can stick to. So tip number 2 also deals with your budget, but it's how you create that budget, whether it's by paper or pen or, electronically. I'm an old school type of person. I like to write out my budget. I like to see those numbers and calculate them myself. You can also use different methods of keeping up with your budget. For instance, you can use Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar, or you can use other apps out there. I think there's one called Mint. Whatever is going to work for you, use that so that you can stick to it. Make sure that if you plan on doing this with your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever it may be, if they're on this debt-free journey with you or this budgeting journey with you, make sure that they're on the same page. So maybe they're not a big person that does it by pen and paper. Maybe they like it electronically. Well, that's okay. Just make sure that you guys are both on the same page. You guys know how much is going to be spent. So that way one can keep their records by pen or paper and the other one can keep it electronically if they'd like to. Tip number 3 is involving your support system. This is extremely important if you have people in your life that love to go out and love to spend money. Now, it's not a bad thing. Like I said, you can always budget it into that month. But don't go crazy. If your friend likes to go out every Friday night to the bar, maybe just once a month, if that's something that's feasible for you. You don't always have to go out. You don't always have to go on those trips. You're going to have to make some sacrifices if you plan on, budgeting, if you're saving towards something, or if you're trying to pay off that debt. There are going to be sacrifices that are going to have to be made, but always keep in mind that you're just making the sacrifices now, that once you're debt-free or you've accomplished that goal, that you're going to be able to do that and even more because now you're going to have that income that's not restricted towards paying other people. So just be realistic. Let your support system know what you're going through right now so that they can support you. Now, the next tip I found to be extremely helpful, and that's following social media pages that are budgeting related. Now, of course, you can use this in other aspects of your life, whether it's weight loss or just motivational, but I love it for my budgeting tips, my tricks, and any ideas. That's what I do is sometimes when I feel I don't feel motivated. I don't feel like I'm doing well or I'm not progressing as far as I'd like to on paying my debt off. I just scroll through Instagram and I see such lovely people just there to support each other. You may not know them, but seeing them accomplish these debt goals is it's just so motivating to see they paid off their credit card. Okay, cool. Let me just work harder. I'm going to get there. That's almost me. I'm $500 away. That's me. Or they give out tips on, hey, this is what's working for me, or this is how I, budget when I go grocery shopping. Just being able to see the motivation, the passion that all of these people have is just so much fun. So that's what I like to do, especially when I'm having those days where I just feel like I'm not moving those numbers. It's just fantastic to get on to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all those social media outlets to see all the encouragement that everyone is willing to put towards others, even when they don't know each other. The last tip I have for you guys is having a visual reminder of where you guys are currently at in your debt-free or budgeting journey. So I have these. They're printed out for all the remaining debts I have. So it's my car loan and then my 2 large student loan debts. So I just highlight them as I start paying them off, and it's just really nice to see like, oh, okay, like I'm almost halfway with paying off my car, which is super exciting. But it's just nice to have that visual. Now, it doesn't have to be this. If it's writing on a sticky note, hey, this is what I have left, or maybe you just found a different way that's helpful for you to visualize where you guys are at, do it. I mean, this is what works for me. Do what works for you. But I do recommend having a visual because it's just really helpful to always have a positive reminder of how far you've come. So those are the 5 budgeting tips for today. Let me know if you're using any of them down below, and if not, share what you guys are using to be so successful in paying off your debt or reaching those budgeting goals. I hope this helped you guys just even a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!